Hey guys, Chris from Provo Beast Audio Installation, and in today's video we're doing a backup camera on this 2009 Dodge Sprinter or Mercedes Sprinter. In this install we're going to show you how to replace the center brake light lens with one that accommodates the camera, and then we're going to run all the wiring and integrate this camera to a new aftermarket radio. Let's get started. Now this install applies to both Dodge and Mercedes Sprinter vans. Now like I said before, we've already pre-installed a JVC unit that we've pulled back out. It's a big float mount 10-inch screen, and that's going to be the unit that'll display the image for us. Let's head to the bench to show you the parts that we're using for our install. Here at the bench, the camera kit that we're going with is this Red Wolf camera kit. It's a direct replacement for the rear center brake light or tail light above the rear doors of our van. It's basically going to bolt into that same location, same shape housing, clips into place and uses the same screws on the left and the right side. Comes with a gasket too as well to prevent any leaks, a long harness where the camera will connect into, and then the other end, this end will connect into whatever display you're showing the image of that camera. And you also will power the camera at that location. So we're doing a big JVC 10-inch float mount screen on this. So we're going to display that camera on our new JVC head unit. Camera needs to be powered with power and ground, and we can do that just robbing power and ground off the radio harness. This does have two sets of video outputs, so depending in your circumstance, you may want to have two screens or one. Your primary screen is yellow video output, and you can also cut your guideline image out by cutting the little service loop, this little green loop there. Outside of that, it's pretty straightforward. The hardest part will be just running our cable. Now, not shown here is a way to trigger our radio to go into the reverse mode as soon as we're backing up. There's a trigger wire or access to the power feed to the reverse lights, and it's in the A pillar on the driver's side, and we'll show you where that is in just a moment. So without further ado, what we need to do is grab our new light. Let's head over to the van, pull the old light off, reinstall the new light, feed this wire into the cab, and then from that point forward, we need to snake this wire all the way up into the dash cavity. Alright, so back here on the van, our center brake light is held in with two T20 Torx screws. So let's go ahead and remove those screws and pull the housing out. Alright, so we have our housing out. It's been fractured and broken, so it's actually kind of nice we're replacing this. We do need to remove our light assembly to install it in our new housing. Unsnapped all the little clips there. Perfect. Snaps just right into place. Cable fits out the top. This will now all fit in there well. We're going to grab our little gasket. Get that all on there as well. Pull off the double-sided tape. Let's go get this installed. Alright, we got that camera in. That looks awesome. That turned out really, really nice. And we fed the wire through. Found a little hole in the crossbeam there where we pulled it out. Then we connected our extension into it. Since this is the Winnebago RV version of our van, we just fished it on top of the cabinets along the headliner to the other side, and we'll show you where that comes out. If you don't have the camper van version, you have a regular van, you just have to be creative on how to run your wire all the way to the front cavity. So with that all connected there, we made sure that was nice and tight. We're going to go ahead and reassemble this panel. From the inside of the van, this is kind of where we fished it up through. We have plenty of space under the headliner. Ran it on top of the cabinets here, all the way forward. fished it down. We pulled out these screws as well to give it a little more access to go up underneath. Pull this out. There's the wire kind of right in there along the headliner, and we'll go up to the A-pillar next. Now we've popped off our A-pillar, just held on with a couple clips. Since we had the Winnebago, we also had a few other accessories hooked to it. But we followed along the factory loom, running our video wire down. Now, at the same time, in this loom, there's actually a white with a blue stripe wire, which we've already tapped into there. That's a reverse trigger wire. And we tapped in our purple with the white stripe into that. We're gonna solder onto that connection. But essentially, you can use a T-tap, but that's the wire that you need to tap into to make your reverse wire connection at the radio. That's gonna automatically cycle over the radio to the reverse mode as soon as you put the van in reverse. Without hooking that up, you'd have to do it manually. So we stripped the wire back without breaking it, and then we just tapped into that. You can also use a T-tap if you want to crimp in. It's a lot easier, but we like to solder here. Continue that down. We're zip tying it through. We just fished it through the dash, and it comes out here. All right, so we got that all soldered and taped on there. Everything's all nice and zip tied here. At this point, we can reassemble the E-pillar. Now, at this point, with our wires run into the dash, obviously you didn't see us remove the radio or reinstall one, because we actually covered that in great detail in our first video, where we installed a double DIN in the factory location. So if you want to see how to do all that, we'll link that video down in the description of this one. We've now made our connections here for our backup camera. This harness comes on in here. We'll put a little dongle on. We bundled the rest and just tucked it in there. Connect it into a reverse camera input. We're not going to use the white one. Connected our camera's power harness into, we just teed into the red and the black of our radio harness. And we did that when we built the harness from the first place in the first video. That's just going to power the camera. Kenwoods also have a power on there as well. You can power a Kenwood camera. We went ahead and just powered it directly off the harness there, so we know it gets enough amperage as needed. And at this point of time, with all those connections made, we can get the radio back in the dash. Snap, snap, snap. All right, so with the radio all back in here, everything's all reassembled. Let's go ahead and make sure our radio, the backup camera setting is turned on. So you go in there, always go and double check your display camera here. And our camera interruption is on. It looks like everything is running. That's perfect. So we'll hit home here. So at this point of time, let's go ahead and put it in reverse. Perfect. And I love that you can still see the back and the bumper. And so it really gives you a good guide and depth there. We'll pull it out of reverse. Now, with this radio, we can actually hit the function button here. We can call upon the camera and use the camera at any time. We don't have to be in reverse, and that's really convenient, especially when we're towing or we want to see what's right behind us going down the highway. It's a really nice feature to have. That's why we wired the camera on accessory. So that's it. All good to go here. If you have any questions on what we did here, go ahead and post a comment below. And like I said before, if you want to see how we installed the radio, link that video down in the description for you. Thanks again for watching. Be sure to hit the like button if you liked what you saw, and don't forget to subscribe. We post great content on the channel all the time. We'll see you in the next video.